Finding creative ways to solve your storage and organizational problems that are easy, effective, affordable. What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Nia if this is your first time here, and today I'm solving all of your organizational problems with easy and affordable storage solutions to really help you maximize the space that you have. So make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification so you never miss out on a future video. And if you guys are ready to hear 5 clever storage solutions for small spaces, then please keep watching. One of my favorite hacks is to find pieces that have dual purposes, and I'm going to share with you guys 2 ways as to how I incorporated that into my apartment. When we first moved in, we had limited cabinet space and absolutely no pantry, so that really didn't work so well for us. So I checked out Facebook Market and was able to purchase this $50 China cabinet, which I redid, put some new hardware on, and made it look brand new. So not only does it store all of our like fancier plates and glassware, it also is our pantry. So we have all of your traditional pantry items in here, as well as our medicine, and then also a little cubby for all of Riley's like school supplies, so that when we are doing school within the school year, she kind of goes here, all of her pencils and everything that she is going to need. So I highly recommend thinking outside the box and not feeling as if you have to spend a ton of money. You will be surprised with what you can find on Facebook Market, and really just searching the internet for quality yet affordable pieces. The second dual item that I incorporated into my apartment is going to be this tufted ottoman. I wanted something that was very relaxed. So a traditional coffee table just was not what I was looking for. I wanted a piece that was going to allow me to kick my feet up after a long day, but also gave me the storage space that I did not have originally. So I scoured the internet and was able to find this beautiful ottoman off of Amazon that was super affordable, and it allows me to still have a beautiful piece in the living room, but also gives me extra storage space. So I highly recommend pieces that have dual purposes to incorporate into your home, and honestly, this can be done in so many different ways. The next hack is one that I think people don't traditionally think about, and that is going to be utilize vertical space. You have a house that has walls, we might as well utilize that space as well, right? And it's an easy way to make your storage kind of look like art in a way, right? So I'm going to share with you guys 3 different ways as to how I was able to use vertical space to reduce the amount of clutter and pieces that I have in each of my rooms. Starting off in my bedroom, this is going to be where I store all of my accessories, and I was looking for a creative way on how to do that. So rather than purchase, a clunky piece of storage that I would have on my dresser, I found these 2 acrylic shelves that not only allowed me to hang all of my necklaces, bracelets, and earrings, it also has a shelf where I store and display all of my perfumes as well. So I love the fact that it has these little knobs that I can drape my jewelry pieces on instead of putting them in, like a bowl or something like that, which would easily cause them to be tangled. It also has little slots where I can put all of my individual earrings, which I absolutely love. Now, I will say it is a little bit challenging when it comes to like hoops and things like that, but for any of your stud earrings, this is the perfect piece. Also, if you're a girl like me who has a lot of perfumes, this shelf portion of these is a great way to display all of your perfumes so that you can see them as well. Moving on over to Riley's room, another easy way to utilize vertical space and storage is to have some type of bookshelf that doesn't take floor space, but allows you to still be able to display your books. So I got these acrylic ones from IKEA. They do have different sizes, so depending on, the length of the wall that you're working with, I will make sure to have everything linked down below for you guys, but we absolutely love these. These are actually picture ledgers, so you can utilize them in a living room, a bedroom to store all of your photos, but we just prefer to use them as a book display, and we have actually 3 of them, but once we incorporated more toys into her bedroom, I did get rid of one of them, and I'm just holding it onto the side because I can't really think of another way on how I can utilize it. But again, using your walls to store things, it allows us extra floor space space to utilize for other things. So one of the last rooms in my home where I utilize the wall and adding extra storage space is going to be in the kitchen. So I have a galley style kitchen, so there is one wall that is filled with cabinets, but honestly that's just not enough space. So what I did was I went to IKEA and I found this shelf that I added to the opposite wall that literally had nothing on it, and it allows us to nicely store extra pieces that wouldn't necessarily fit within a cabinet, but they're also easy grab and go pieces that I utilize on an everyday basis without cluttering the counter space. That's honestly one of the biggest hacks, is when you're utilizing your vertical space, like your walls, doors, all of those type of things, you're reducing the floor space, right? So not only do I have this shelf up top, I also have a nice little kitchen island that I was also able to add right underneath. And if I had like a cabinet piece or anything like that, not only is it utilizing the vertical space, it's also utilizing the floor space, which then also wouldn't allow me to have the little kitchen card or island to give me extra counter space. So it's all about thinking smarter about ways that you can incorporate different storage solutions within your home without making the space feel cluttered. Moving into the next hack, it is going to be incorporating pieces into your home that fit the space that you have. You don't want these big bulky items that is going to make the room feel cramped and cluttered, and it's just an eyesore. So you need to make sure that you're looking for pieces that fit the space. So as I mentioned earlier, I ended up getting this kitchen island because literally the amount of space that I have for counter space was not going to cut it, especially if I have any items that I just recently washed by hand. It gave me about this much space to cook in, and that was just not going to work for me. God forbid we even have any appliances that we also need to put onto the counter. So I was looking for a slim kitchen island, one preferably that had wheels, one that also had shelving, so it also gave me extra storage space. You see how like we're looking for pieces that fit the space, but also pieces that are going to give us extra space to store other items. So I ended up finding this kitchen like cart island, whatever you want to call it, off of Amazon. At the time it came in two different colors, like this darker like oak, and then also I believe it came in white. I just love it because it fits perfectly up against the wall. It gives me some extra counter space. I'm able to also put my air fryer on top of it, so I'm able to kind of like move in and out of the kitchen. And not only is it still allowing me that extra storage space, it doesn't make the kitchen feel cluttered, right? And especially with a galley kitchen, it is so easy to make this space feel so cramped and cluttered. And I don't know about you, I spend a good amount of time in the kitchen cooking for myself and also for Riley. So I didn't want the space to feel cramped. I wanted to feel comfortable within my kitchen. So incorporating a thinner style cart was the best way to go. When I first moved in here, one of the first things that I was really conscious about was the entryway. This is the first thing that people see when they come into your home. And I wanted to find a cabinet space that was welcoming, but also something that fit the space. So IKEA actually at the time ended up coming out with this like new line of cabinets. And when I saw them, I was obsessed. So I got started off with 2 of these cabinets because I was scared that like 3 was just going to feel too big for the space. But after maybe about a year and a half, I did end up going back to purchase another one. So we have about 3 of these cabinets that again also string back to the first tip that I shared with you guys. They're dual items. So not only does it allow me to have a place to kind of like put things down when I'm first walking in the door, we also have a dedicated storage space for different items that we use on a daily basis. Now, if we didn't have all of this, I don't know where those items would go. We have items that are specifically for outside and play and all of the crafts that Riley likes to do. I also did not have a linen closet, so this space stores, you know, extra towels, toilet paper, all of our like, you know, shower and bathroom items. into one of these cabinet spaces, and right behind me is our laundry, and I didn't have like a dedicated laundry room either, so I'm utilizing one of the cabinets to store all of our like cleaning products, laundry stuff. So it's kind of works hand in hand, picking out items that are going to fit the space without making it feel like the room feel a lot smaller, but also pieces that are going to have dual purposes as well. One of the last creative storage ideas that I added into my apartment, while also staying mindful of the size of the piece that I was also adding, was to incorporate some type of shoe cabinet. I cannot stand walking into an apartment where shoes are just everywhere. It is such an eyesore, and with the amount of space that we had in the entryway, it just really didn't work for us. And I also am not a huge fan of those like open shelf units, because if it's not organized all the time, and if you have a child, like being organized doesn't always last that long, you know? So I wanted a piece that was going to hide our shoes, also was a way to add maybe extra shelving into the apartment. So I headed over to IKEA. If you guys have not seen the theme, IKEA was definitely one of my go-to places. And if you've ever been there, it is just like one of my favorite places, because they have so many affordable pieces and the quality has increased over the years. So don't sleep on IKEA, I will tell you that. But I got this little storage unit that fits perfectly right in the hallway. So as soon as we come into the door, we come over here, put our shoes down, but it also gave us a little bit of extra counter space where I was able to add like photos and Riley's trophies from all of her extracurricular activities. And then just to add a little bit of decor onto the wall, I got these two little like mirrors from Amazon that I thought was just a nice added touch. So I think we are on tip number 4, and this might be one of my favorite because it's just so easy to do. So I mentioned to you guys earlier that I do not have a laundry room. I have more of a laundry closet. So all it is able to fit is the washer and dryer. However, we still have a mop, a broom, a Swiffer, and any other, you know, traditional item that you're going to need for your home. So we just utilize the inside of the door. So I bought these command holders. So they are renter friendly. If you want something that's a little bit more permanent, if you own your home, then go for it. But I felt that these were the perfect piece. So it's just an easy little holder that is able to hold our Swiffer, our broom, and also our mop. I had another type of holder that fit on the side, but I was having a little bit of trouble with it, but that was just like a traditional hook that I was able to put our collapsible like laundry basket in as well. So I highly recommend like any of the command strip lines in regards to hooks, holders, and all of the things. Not only is it renter friendly, it's very, very affordable, and it allows you to utilize the inside or even behind the door without the room looking a hot old mess. Unless I have this door open, nobody's going to see what's inside. And another way that I use the inside of the door is going to be in our hallway. So I don't have like a linen closet, I just have the hallway closet. So this is going to be something that has to store all of our Christmas items, like the larger pieces, which of course is going to be the tree. I keep all of Riley's extra toys because we do toy rotation, also all of our jackets and all of the things. But what I really wanted to do was also use the inside of the door space to put any of the smaller little things, especially in the wintertime. We have gloves and scarves and hats and, you know, Riley's book bag and all of those type of things. Where am I going to store my purse? So I ended up going to the Container Store and I purchased one of their organizational systems that allowed me to be able to have all of these extra items in the closet. It's not the most appealing and aesthetic thing, but without it, I honestly don't know what I would do. So this is what it looks like. The one good thing that I really love about the Container Store and this specific like organizational unit, you can either purchase it already like pre-packaged, or what you can do is you can purchase the individual pieces so that you can customize it for whatever works for you in your space. I went with the customizational route because I wanted to have hooks down at the bottom, something that was low enough for Riley to come in and put her jacket and her book bag. We're trying to start early when it comes to learning how to keep your home clean. But then I also wanted to have like little bins that we could put, you know, any other little knickknacks that I didn't have another home for. And then all the way up at the top is going to be where I keep all of like my purses and things that I just need to grab and go on an everyday basis. Don't mind all of the mess in here because again, like I told you, a lot of these closets that I have are going to have dual purposes. So yes, this houses my, you know, Christmas tree while also housing our jackets as well. So you just have to make do with the space, and the fact that, you know, we don't just have this closet wide open all the time. It's okay if it doesn't look perfect. Let's get over the fact that we don't have this, you know, not lived in looking home where everything's aesthetically pleasing. That's not the reality for most of us. So if it looks a little bit messy but organized at the same time, I'm going for that route because we live here and it's not always going to look perfect. It's not always going to look clean. It's not always going to look organized, but we do the best that we have. And by incorporating, you know, small little creative ways to add extra storage, that's really all you can do. We're not like building on and creating more storage. We're just working with what we already have. All right. So the last hack that I have for you guys for today's video is going to be utilizing the space underneath your bed, right? And what else is this space for? Just to collect dust? No, it's not. It's to add extra storage space to store items that you don't necessarily use on an everyday basis, but you have nowhere else in your home to store them. What I like to do is I will store all of our out of season clothing in here. And originally when I purchased this bed, I thought it was going to be higher. I personally prefer a higher looking bed. So in order for me to actually utilize the storage underneath the bed, I needed to purchase bed risers. So I purchased a couple of packs of these off of Amazon, and then to store all of our extra clothes, I have these very thin storage bags. I've had them for a while, so they are a little bit ripped, but they still work, and that's all that matters. So this is where we store all of our extra clothes, things that are just out of season at the moment. And by having something that is this thin that could just fit underneath the bed, plus the bed risers, is honestly the best way to go. So I have about 4 of these underneath my bed, and then under Riley's bed we have like some of her like larger toys. In the summertime, which I probably should do now, is take our like bulkier like blankets and store those underneath her bed as well, because again, all it is collecting dust, and what else could you use it for? So I just love the fact of, again, finding creative ways to solve your storage and organizational problems that are easy, effective, affordable, because we're not trying to spend $1 million trying to add extra storage to our homes. It's just finding pieces that are going to fit within your home that work for you while also adding extra storage space. So those are the 5 clever storage solutions that have really helped me maximize the storage in my home. If you guys would like a part 2, let me know down in the comments, because your girl definitely has some more hacks for you. But I did want to leave you guys off with 2 key things to take away from today's video. 1, focus on finding solutions to the problems that you have rather than focusing on the lack of storage space. There are so many items out here on the market, so you're bound to find something that is going to fit within your budget and also within your home. So don't look at it as a negative, almost look at it as a challenge, because that's what I always like to do. I look at it as a challenge and I head to those stores, go online, and I'm always able to find something that is going to work. Also, I want to leave you guys off with, don't forget about being creative. Like, there are so many ways that you can organize your home in a creative way, and don't think that you have to only head or search for those items that have been categorized as organizational items. Check other departments, because you will be surprised at what you can actually find, you know? And I think also a lot of the times the pieces that are categorized as organizational pieces can sometimes be a little bit pricier than other items. Check your local Home Goods, TJ Maxx, Marshalls. They have some really good pieces, as well as Amazon and IKEA, because you guys can see I have a ton of items from those specific stores that, you know, really make my home feel and look a lot more organized. And also when it comes to those bigger pieces, you can make your, you know, furniture look a lot more expensive by simply switching out the hardware. Those entryway cabinets, that is not the original hardware that came with it. It just wasn't something that I was looking for, but simply by switching out the hardware, it elevated the piece itself and just made things look a lot nicer. So I wanted to just leave you with those two kind of like tips and tricks as well. Don't be scared to be creative and try new pieces. You will just shock yourself with what you're able to come up with. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. You found it to be helpful. You learned new creative ways to maximize the storage space in your home. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will catch you guys right back here in my next video. Bye.
We're not okay. I look into your eyes and see you fade away. But we're not the same. It's like we're on two sides of the Milky Way. Somehow we got used to the problems. Baby, we got used to falling. I'm tired of feeling blue.